Now for our feature story of the day, Let's discuss BlackRock and Fidelity ETF Bombshell triggering a massive $75 trillion Bitcoin prediction. Obviously, that's not price action, that's market cap. But to hit a $75 trillion market cap, we're talking $3.8 million Bitcoin price, according to ARK Invest, is Cathie Wood. So let's break this down. This was actually a Forbes article a couple of weeks ago, and I want to rehash this because this is actually pretty insightful. You know what I mean? The Bitcoin price added around 350% since crashing to a low of 15,000 per Bitcoin. I'm curious, how many of you actually bought some biddies back when we tapped 15,000 just over a year ago, family? Feels like yesterday. Largely thanks to a fleet of the Bitcoin ETFs taking Wall Street by storm. Now, after Coinbase revealed it's backing BlackRock's $5 trillion by 2030 game changer, famed stock picker and Bitcoin bull Cathie Wood has hiked their Bitcoin price prediction, betting a coming Bitcoin price surge will give Bitcoin a market cap of $75 trillion by the end of the decade. Let's go back to CoinMarketCap and check out Bitcoin's market cap right now and in the flesh. The market cap of Bitcoin today, right? $1.2 trillion. So with Bitcoin having a 1.2 trillion market cap, what is that? Roughly a 70x, right? From the current market cap. 70x from here. Can you see that? Please do let me know, because you know the price would soar crazily on that. Quoting her here, last year we put out our bull case for Bitcoin. It was $1.5 million, said Wood, chief executive of disruptive technology investor ARK. And she said that on stage at the New York Bitcoin Investor Day conference when it was reported by Business Insider, quoting her again, with this institutional green light that the SEC has provided, kicking and screaming though it did, the analysis we have done is that if institutional investors were to allocate a little more than 5% of their portfolios into Bitcoin, as we think they will over time, that alone would add $2.3 million to the projection I just gave you. So Wood said, referring to the US SEC waving through almost a dozen spot Bitcoin ETFs in January. That's just based off 5% allocation from these institutions. Let's not forget BlackRock a few years back released a report or a study, and I covered it numerous times on the channel, that their ideal Bitcoin allocation for a portfolio is 84.9%. I'm not even going to speculate what that would mean for the Bitcoin price action, but you can use your imagination, family. Now, Wall Street giants BlackRock and Fidelity have emerged as the two largest of the new Bitcoin ETF issuers, raking in assets under management of around $15 billion and $9 billion, respectively. And now it's way higher, just FYI. This was as of a few weeks ago. Wood's own ARK 21 shares for Bitcoin ETF now holds 40,000 biddies, worth $2 billion on behalf of investors. Wood's new Bitcoin price prediction could see Bitcoin hitting 3.8 million by 2030. 6 years, family. Can you see it? A massive near 6,000% increase from the current Bitcoin price and a market cap of 1.2 trillion, which ironically is precisely where we're at today. Quoting her again, we think Bitcoin has miles to go. We're at the very beginning of really putting in place the financial ecosystem native to the internet and disintermediating all the toll takers. So there you go. Now, after a period of huge growth following their launch, the new spot Bitcoin ETFs, including Grayscale's coveted trust, saw outflows over 4 straight days. Yeah, I mean, outflows have not been slowing down, but as we already touched upon, Michael Sonnenschein, the CEO of BlackRock, says things are going to be at an equilibrium, but we'll soon see. But let me know your thoughts specifically here regarding Bitcoin tapping a 75 trillion market cap within the next 6 years. And ideally, off of that, hitting a price of 3.8 million per coin. Now, I remember when Cathie Wood first made her prediction of Bitcoin hitting $1 million by 2030. Then she upped it. We all knew her bear scenario, her base case, and her bull case. And she keeps up in the bull case, and I'm digging it. Shout out Cathie Wood, right? She's just expressing her bullishness because I think they underestimated the Bitcoin ETF demand. And I think the demand shock, which is unprecedented in any ETF market, meaning the Bitcoin success from the Bitcoin ETF inflows has been unlike anything we've ever witnessed in the history of ETF launches. And I think because of that, they're even that much more bullish, and just a very modest allocation into Bitcoin from these major asset managers is a big move, right? Major moves, just 5% allocation. We're talking about $3.8 million Bitcoin, 75 trillion market cap. That's a lot of money. I know a lot of people are going to speculate, but is that even possible? Well, yeah, there's roughly, I hear now, $900 trillion worth of the total addressable market, meaning all the money in the world, right? And Bitcoin is the apex predator. So where will these billionaires and institutions likely park their capital? Shout out to Ricky Norwood, appreciate the sub. Likely into Bitcoin, because there is no second best, right? I shared a graph. I'm actually going to pull it up because it's very insightful. I shared it in yesterday's podcast. I want to cover this with you. I'm going to pull it up over on X. I just got to find it, so bear with me a second here. And if you're not following me on X, what are you doing with your life? Make sure to follow me on X. I appreciate it. We currently got 33.8 thousand followers, and I would love to have 100,000 followers. Here's the chart. Check it out. I replied to Peter Schiff on this one. I got a lot of love. Peter Schiff wrote, "Gold is now above 2,400. What's happening is not normal. Gold doesn't typically move like this, especially on no news. If this means the ZIRP, QE, and deficit spending chickens are finally coming home to roost, the magnitude and velocity of these gains is about to accelerate." And he got over 500,000 views. So I responded, one second here. $1 invested into Bitcoin or gold in 2009 is now worth, that $1 in Bitcoin is now worth 91 million. And that $1 in gold, again, 14 and a half years ago, is now worth $2. So what does that tell us? That means gold doubled in price. It doubled in value in almost 15 years. Big whoop. Bitcoin, 91 million% increase. $1 turns into 91 million. And this is a chart I got from Willy Woo, the on-chain analyst. Shout out Willy Woo. I mean, that's the tail of the tape right there. And I actually wrote something about it as well. I'm going to read to you because I just want to share my thoughts on after I analyzed that myself here. Let me just pull this up. So this is what I wrote. "I don't understand gold bugs who think gold is a viable store of value. Yes, gold is up 2x in the past 14 and a half years, meaning if you invested $1 into gold in January 2009, today it would be worth a whopping $2. Ultimately meaning gold can't even keep up with inflation. Meanwhile, if you invested just $1 into Bitcoin in January of 2009, your $1 investment into Bitcoin would now be worth $91 million. Plus, let's not forget, corrupt governments can and will seize your gold, as history has shown us. So, when it comes down to the ultimate store of value, there is no second best. Bitcoin is king." Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment. I firmly believe it. Where else are you going to park your cash? There is no second best store of value. There's Bitcoin, Bitcoin, and Bitcoin, Bitcoin, and Bitcoin. Just saying. But let me know your thoughts surrounding all these predictions I just shared with you. 75 trillion market cap, $3.8 million Bitcoin by the year 2030 as per ARK Investors Cathie Wood. Holla.